everybody. So I hope you're all well and you're finding interesting things to do at home. And today I'm going to talk to you about something interesting that I've been doing since I've been home and in the garden. Today we're going to talk about nature. So nature is the great outdoors. Some things that you can use if you go on a nature trail. You might have some of these at home. Does anybody know what these are called? I think you hold them like this, put them to your eyes. Oh, and I can see things really well that were far away. So you can maybe look at birds. If you go into the woods, maybe you might find a squirrel. That's interesting. So these are called binoculars. So they help you see things which are far away, so you see them closer. If you go on a nature hunt and you see something which is close to you, but it's tiny, and you want to see it bigger, you might have one of these. I don't have one, so I'm going to draw it, and maybe you can guess what it is. I think it looks like that. It's got a stick, and it's like that. And you put it to your eye. You close one eye. Oh, so I close this one. Put it to this eye, and I look in here. Not a frying pan, no. Not a lollipop, no. That's it, a magnifying glass. So a magnifying glass, you see things which are close to you, but they're very tiny, very small, and it makes them bigger. So that's a magnifying glass, but I don't have one. Let's see what else you might need if you go onto a nature trail. Sometimes we find things and they're tiny, and they're in a place where it's very dark. So you might need one of these. Does anybody know what that is? If I press the button here. Oh! This is, that's it, a torch. So it gives light if something's dark. So I got my binoculars, my torch. I would love to have a magnifying glass. And then my hat, just in case the sun, so I can protect my eyes. Okay, keep my head protected as well. So I'm going to show you, before I show you what I've discovered in nature, we'll just, this is a lovely book. So this says, Why is the Sky Blue? So there's lots of things about nature in this book. So I found a really lovely one. Let's have a look. So here is a lovely picture of a tree. And I tell you what it says. It says, do trees breathe? Let's take my hat off a minute because it's a bit hot inside. Do trees breathe? Oh, here's the answer. It says yes. Trees breathe in a gas called carbon dioxide through their leaves. They change this into the fresh air that we breathe, which is called oxygen. Wow, so the trees are really, really important because they breathe in something called carbon dioxide, and then they give us they change this and they give us back oxygen, which is what we need to breathe. So maybe if you're feeling a little bit or your mummies and daddies, you can always go for a walk and go walk around some trees. Maybe that'll make you feel better. So that's an interesting fact. A lovely book. Okay, so now let's go on to what I have discovered. Interesting. So I'm going to draw a picture. And as I draw it, you can learn how to draw it too, because sometimes we think drawing is a bit tricky. But all drawing is straight line, wiggly line, or a curvy line. So here I'm going to do See if you can guess it while I draw it. Here I'm going to do a line, straight line. And then here I'm going to do a curved line. So that is a little bit like a semicircle. Well, it is a semicircle. If I do another one there, it would be a circle or an oval. Okay, and then here I'm going to do 1, 2 tiny little eyes. Oops, that looked like 3. And so that will be the head. And then here I'm going to do 1, 2. Ooh, what could those be? Has anybody guessed it yet? And then here I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Anybody guessed it yet? What could that be? Something that I've been finding all over the garden. I give you a clue. This little friend of mine, this, when the sun is out, you can see my sun? When the sun is out, my little friend doesn't like to come out. So we'll put a cross through there. Doesn't like the sun. Any guesses? Oh, if I do the colour. So they're normally a bit grey in colour. So I'll colour this grey. It didn't have a grey crayon, so I have to use a pencil, which is grey. So they're grey. They like mud. That's a bit of mud. They like it when it's dark places. They like wood, so I draw a log. Ooh. Bit of wood. Anyone guessed it? I reckon some of you have. So I'll put the name down here and you can see if you guessed it right. Or I'll put it up here. Wa, tu, os, ud, da, la, lu, should I say? I, s, ka, e. Did you guess it? A wood lice. Yes, I've been finding lots of wood lice. And they're very interesting, so I can tell you. They have tiny little eyes, but they're not very good at seeing those eyes, so they use these long things, which are antennae, to help them see where they're going. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 legs on one side and 7 legs on the other side. So they don't like sunshine. They like it to be a little bit damp, dark places. So when you go looking for wood lice, it's good to have your torch. See where they are. Look underneath the wood because they like wood. Okay. Oh, and I found something really nice. I've been really looking into wood lice, and they're really lovely creatures. They don't bite. They're not scary because they're tiny. If you see a wood lice and it's on its back, always nice to put it back on its legs. And they're recyclers. They eat all of the old wood, and if there's any bits of food left in the ground, they'll eat that. So they're really good at keeping the planet nice, clean and tidy. Let me show you some real life pictures. I'm sure you've seen one. So that was a wood lice that I found in my garden. So you can see his legs, you can see his 2 antennae, and that white there, what could that be? Well, I looked through some books and I found out what that is. So let me show you. Let's take this one off. by my friend. Whoops. Now I've gone off of there. Really exciting what that is. Go back to another picture. So always be kind. That one there. Oh, there's lots of white in the tummy. So this here, all of this white, these are babies. Baby woodlice. So that's a mummy woodlice carrying her babies in her tummy. So that one I found, she was on her back, so I carefully put her back onto her tummy, and then she walked away. So and then I went and washed my hands, of course. So whenever you see a woodlice, always, if it's on his back, put him back on his feet. Okay.